Hey, welcome to another episode of Loose Units Outdoors. Today I'm just going to show you guys just picking up some crab pots. I've got two set that I put down on low tide yesterday. They've had a full 24-hour soak. I'm back out in the bush. Like I said to you guys, probably previous videos, this system where I live is heavily pressured. Lots of crabbing goes on here. I don't have a boat, so all my pots I walk into the bush, and I don't use well-worn tracks or anything, because they're around here, heavily populated area, heavily pressured creek system. So you do get a lot of, unfortunately, you do get a lot of people that'll come through and check your pots for you. And it's a bit of work mud crabbing, especially the way I do it. I come through the bush, don't use well-worn paths, and try and set them sneakily. Even with the floats, I'll put them in the water, and I'll set the pot. When the rope comes up on the bank, I'll wrap it around the tree and try and tuck the float in underneath something and cover it with debris and branches and stuff, just so it isn't visible from the creek. So if a boat comes up here, they don't see the float. So I do it quite sneakily. It's nothing like going to all this trouble and then someone comes and checks your mud crab pots for you. So I'm quite sneaky. Shit, nearly fell over. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing now. I'm walking into where my first pot is. And what I'll do in this video is I'll pick the pots up and I'll show you my process from picking up the pots, sorting through the crabs, taking them home, the process I go through sedating them, and then humanely dispatching of them, cooking them, and then how to, once they're cooked, how to clean and eat them. A lot of people might be a little bit perturbed by eating mud crabs because they don't know how to eat them, but I've got a way to do it to quickly get the meat out of them, and I'll sort of go through that. But yeah, we're just coming up on the first mud crab pot here, so next clip will be me pulling this pot and seeing how it went. It's getting cooler now. We're in autumn now. Mud crabbing traditionally is done, or any sort of crabbing in this part of northern New South Wales, southeast Queensland, is done during the warmer months because the water temperature does affect these crabs. When the water's warmer, they're a lot more active. When the water cools down, their metabolism slows down. You can still get them through winter, but definitely minimum 24-hour soaks, and your yield's going to be cut down by at least 50%. So yeah, we'll go and check this pot and see what happens. Okay, in this pot I've got, you can see in there, that male running around there. He's legal, and he's just ran over the top of a good legal female as well. So that's two from this pot. There is another couple underneath that fish there, but they look undersized. There's another male there. This guy's a nice male. He's a good one. I'll check to see how full they are. Yeah, just by weight of the crab, usually how I do it, but that's pretty good. That's one pot, and I've got two keepers. Okay, going to check the second pot. Okay, this one I've got 3 keepers. That's a big male, he's missing a claw. Grumpy female, as they normally are over here. Female crab and a male. He's legal, I think. I've got to measure, I'll double check, but good big claws on him. So that's three keeper crabs by the looks of that out of that pot. So yeah, I'll head home and put these guys to sleep and show you what I do with them. I thought I'd show you a little hack. So this is my crab measurer. In New South Wales, front to back, we measure them. Queensland's different. You go left to right, like across the width of the crab. In New South Wales, we go front to back to measure them. 8.5 centimetres from front to back is the legal size in New South Wales, and we can keep bucks and jennies. And the my crab measure is tied onto the bucket. You can get New South Wales fisheries do make a crab measurer, but yeah, you have to get your fingers quite close to the crab. So this, with a longer handle, I can sort of measure the crab without getting in range of their claws to bite. Yeah, mud crabs, they're nasty, man. I've seen mud crabs, a big buck will pretty much bite a smaller crab in half almost and just rip all their legs off, crush the claws and bite them in half and kill them. These mud crabs have tremendous force when they bite down. I once up North Queensland had one bite me through like that, through the tip of my thumb here, straight through, and crush the bone, crush my fingernail, and it, man, there's a special kind of pain. So what do I do now? So they're in the bucket. I've just got them. Now I've got an esky here. It's got enough water in here to cover all 5 crabs. I caught 5 legals today. What I'll do is I'll put, these are just frozen juice bottles. I'll put all those in there. So they're in there, and I'll let that water cool down for, I don't know, half an hour, and get that water nice and cold. And what that will do is it'll slow their metabolism right down. After those crabs, I'll put them in there, and then they'll pretty much go dormant. They're not dead, but they're very, very lethargic from the cold water, and then you can handle them without getting bit. A lot of guys do tie crabs up, and it's a good idea, you know, if you're out in your boat and you're catching a bunch of crabs, do tie them up. You can put them in a you know, a bucket or something, or container, tie it up, and you put a wet hessian sack. A lot of the guys use, so you know, put a hessian sack into the water, get it nice and wet, throw it over the top of the crabs, and you can layer them in the bucket. And they'll live for there. If they're kept moist and cool, they can last for days like that. And then you can handle them easy. The crabs won't attack each other like they do. A few of them in there are sort of ripped into each other, but that'll make them a lot easier to handle when you cook them. But I don't bother with that. Straight in the bucket, straight nice cold water. And yeah, and then the next stage will be putting them in the freezer, but I'll show you that too. A little tip here, so these pots, yeah, there's my 2 crab pots. Crab pots aren't cheap. They can go anywhere from $60 to 120 for a good pot. So yeah, I'm just going to give these a wash in fresh water, give them a rinse off so they don't rust, and also the salt and stuff can get into the netting as well, and it'll corrode it quicker than, you know, if they'll wash with fresh water. So I'll give these a wash. Okay, so those frozen water bottles have been in there for about half an hour now. The water is nice and cold. I'll take those out, and all I do is chase this bottle around. So yeah, just get these crabs straight into that water. They won't like it. Bit of bait and stuff in there. So they're in there now, not happy. And I'll just throw these on top like that. So they're in there now, in that ice cold water. That'll sit there. I'll give them an hour, I reckon. And they'll well and truly be slowed right down and easy to handle. Then you don't have to worry about them biting you, because they're just yeah, completely sedated by the cold water. Okay, so it's been about an hour or so. The crabs are in the esky. I've taken the frozen bottles out, put them back in the freezer, because I want to refreeze those to use after I've cooked them. So as you can see, these crabs, they're not dead, but they're just doughy as. This guy's got a hold of him, so yeah, they're just mellow. They're still moving, but they're just mellow. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to chuck them on a tray. This is the baking tray. This guy's still a little bit picky. Just get him out of there. Put them on a tray. That's a good buck, that one. It's a shame he hasn't got his other claw. That's a nice buck, that one. One more. Nice size Jenny. So I'll just pile them on. Be a little bit careful as they still will bite down on you. So yeah, they're on there. You see in here they've just been tearing into one another's fucking legs and shit in there. Angry bloody things. So yeah, I'm just going to put them down. Yeah, so now they're in on that baking tray, the bin bag, straight into the freezer. Hopefully I'll sit there, sort of. Yeah, bottles are in there getting ready for the next round, so they're in the freezer. They'll go in there for 1 hour, and that will dispatch of them. Then they'll be yeah, dead and ready to cook. Down the mouth of the beautiful creek here in Potty. Yeah, the tide's turned now. It's coming in. This beautiful fresh ocean water. So I cook all my crabs in just ocean water. Incoming tide now, so it's beautiful and clean. And that's, yeah, any prawns or crabs or anything like that I boil. Yeah, just use fresh ocean water. Usually collect about 6 litres at a time, and yeah, use it to cook the crabs in. Okay, so those mud crabs, yeah, they've been in the freezer for an hour. Just took them out of the bag there. I'll keep that bag for putting the scraps in. So there. I just thought, just for shits and giggles, I might weigh these and just see what I've got here. So I've got the kitchen scales here. I'll just turn it on. You should have tarred it out yet, so it's tar. Okay. See how much weight-wise we've got here. It's going to sit in there. Okay, let's see what we got here. It'll stay. All these bits and pieces here too. I might as well add that in. Chunked off bits they've tore off one another. All adds up. Let's see what you got here. So all the crabs are on there. We got 2.85 kilo. Yeah, 2.85 kilo. So say 30 bucks. Nearly 3 kilos. So it's probably 80-90 bucks worth of mud crab there. That's not bad for an hour's work. So they're all frozen. And they are, yeah, they're kaputska now, so they're ready to be cooked. So I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so yep, these crabs are cooking now. What I did was I put in my pot. I use an induction cooker. These are boiling now. Set a timer for 16 minutes to cook. There's 2 crabs in there. If you're cooking one smaller mud crab, you do them for 12 minutes. Large mud crab, 15, 16. So because I got 2 crabs medium odd size, I'll do them for 16 minutes on the boil. So what I did was I got my pot. I put enough fresh salt water that I collected before. It's fresh, beautiful fresh ocean water that's just come in through the mouth of the creek. I don't use scungy, dirty, upriver, low tide water. You don't know what's in it. So I've got these crabs in here. I've put enough salt water in there to cover the crabs. Brought it to the boil, then dropped the crabs in, put the lid on it, and just waited for it to come to the boil again, like these guys are, and leave those 2 together for 16 minutes. So, like I said, smaller crab 12 minutes, larger crab 15, 16 minutes, depending on the size. If it's a whopper. So I'm going to do these for 17 minutes because there's 2 in there. So once they're cooked, I'll put them straight into ice cold water again in an esky, because you want to stop the cooking process immediately by dropping them into cold water to draw all that heat out of them. Yes, otherwise if you just put them out, they're going to keep cooking in there for another half an hour. So, and what that does too is when you drop in salt into some fresh icy cold water, it pulls the meat away from the skin, from the shell, so it's easier to get at when you're eating. So I'll leave them for 16 minutes and come back to it. Okie dokie, so they've been in there now for 16 minutes. I'll just turn this induction cooker off. So yeah, that's off now. Oh, fog up my glasses. Yeah, so the crabs are there, they're done. I got again an esky with some frozen bottles in it. Water is ice cold. I'll just transfer these crabs. Nice buck there. Straight into that icy cold water. Set them both in there. Make sure they're covered. Okay, so they're covered, and then just drop these bottles back in there again. Shut it up, and then that's it. Leave them for an hour. Okay, now I've got these crabs all cooked and ready to go. I'm going to show you how to clean these guys. So I've got the crabs here. That's 3 of the ones that I caught yesterday. I gave a couple away to a friend for a birthday, so that was pretty cool. And these 3 I'm going out to a friend's place for lunch, so we've got 3 of us, so we're going to have a crab each. So I'll show you what to do. So with these crabs here, they're cooked all whole. You can see this carapace latch here. You just get your finger in behind there, pull that up, then get your thumb in behind there, turn it around, and just lift the carapace off. You'll have all these gills in here and muck. Just clean all that out. Bits there. This stuff in the middle here, that's like, they call it crab caviar. It's quite delicious. Looks disgusting, but yeah, it's nice. So clean everything out. Cold water. Left the bat. What I usually do is, this is a great crabbing utensil, just a butter knife that's solid all the way through, nice thick strong handle, and just in the middle there, and just crack it, and the crab will just fold in half like that. Again, just make sure you get all that gunk out of there. Some eggs in there and stuff, gotta get rid of that. And that's it. That's the crab. They're ready to go. Obviously, I'm going to take these over ready to be served. So the claws, you can just hit them the back of that and they crack quite easily. Oh, broke off. That's all right. Chuck that in there, ready to go. I'm going to take this container around, just crack them both sides, and then they're easy just to break apart. I usually just pull these legs off individually. When you pull these out, a good bit of this meat from in here will come out with it, or it might stay in there. With these legs here, you take them off. See how there's meat there that comes with it? That's beautiful. Dropped in amongst the guts. Eat that. These parts of the legs here, there's meat in there as well. Just break them like that, and you can just squeeze the meat out. Yum. With the bodies, once these claws are all off and you've eaten all these, you'll be left with this body. I just crush it that way, put a good bit of pressure on it and break it open, and then you can get out the rest of the meat in here. It's a bit finicky, but I just use the butter knife just to get that all out of there. So that's pretty much it. Crack this claw. You don't want to bash it so it just, you know, smash it to pieces, but just crack it enough just to crack the claw. That's it. These will be ready to take around to my friend's place, and I'll just rinse and repeat with all these. Look at the claw on that guy. That's awesome. Like I said yesterday, it's a shame this male didn't have both claws. That's a whopper. That's a lovely looking claw, that one. That's about it. That's the journey from catching the mud crabs through to cleaning and eating them. Hope you got something out of this video, and we'll see you on the next ones on Loose Unit Outdoors. Have a great one.